Today I'm going to show you how to pre-register for Call of Dragons, and I'm going to show you a bunch of screenshots from things that you won't find on the website. So let's get going. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and I don't know about you, but when I saw the trailers for Call of Dragons, I got really freaking hyped. And it turns out that the pre-reg page is already up. If that's all you want to do, the link will be in the description. You can go there and you do the following steps. You're going to smash the pre-register button, you enter your email address, you agree to the terms of service, and boom, submit, and you're in the pre-registration. Now that doesn't mean that you can play right away. In fact, if I enter an email address here, I'll go chisgule2@gmail.com and I hit submit. The thing is that I now will be registered. Congratulations, my lord. Your registration's been successful. We'll notify you via email when the game is launched in your region. Please read the message carefully and keep in mind the full service reservation reward will be distributed after the game is launched. What is he talking about? Full service registration reward. Well, if enough people go and pre-register for the game, they're going to give you a small amount of in-game stuff as listed down here. And the final tier of reward, if there's over 2 million pre-registrations, is question. But the other things that are down here are like speed ups and a few keys and things that you're sort of used to. But what I thought was cool about this website is that you could see a little bit more than just the pre-registration. There's a little bit of information about the world itself and a map that you can interact with. In this first page, it's going to show you the 3 different factions that are in the game. The one that I'm most interested in is right here. I don't yet know how to pronounce everything in game, but this looks like Wilderberg, and this has a couple bonuses. Legion physical attack, which is army physical attack, and also building engineering plus 10%. Now, I don't know exactly how that works yet, but if you want, you can go and you can explore all of the factions and all of their bonuses by virtue of the map. You also can check out the different units that are available in-game. For example, I can give you a look at the ballistas, but I can do you one better. Rather than just cruise through all the things that you can see for yourself on this website, why do I jump to a bunch of screenshots from gameplay footage? Big shout out to Sabor and Zatoichi, who sent me a bunch of screenshots. I will cruise through just a small number of these. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you should definitely do so because I've got a lot of really exciting content coming for this game. So the first thing I want to show you that you can't really look into in the same way on the website is the Behemoths. And we can go through pictures of a bunch of these. What you see here is the giant bear. I'll point out up top that there is a training section. You do enhance the effectiveness of the Behemoths. You can see that this one is level 3, and there are some boosts that it's got. Also, on this right-hand side here, you can see there's 3 skills. There's attack, defense, and hit points, which is stuff we're very much used to. There is a movement speed, which is listed as very fast, and the battle duration, I assume, is the amount of time that it actually will fight by your side. From here, we've got the giant, which is kind of a quirky looking dude. Tiny head, big body. All right, whatever. This one is also very fast movement speed. Battle duration's the same. You can see this one is lower level and it doesn't have as many buffs as the other one does. Here you've got the Thunder Rock, and I'll cruise through these pretty quickly because I think the base level of these behemoths is pretty much similar. What you'd really want to see is to kind of go through and look at these abilities in game, which something I'll talk about at the end of this video here. Dire Bear. We've got the, wow, how do you even pronounce this? Necro Giant. Okay, sure, a Necro Giant. I got it. And here is a picture of where you go and you can actually upgrade or train one of these behemoths. So there's actually a huge talent tree available for the behemoth to make it more powerful, which is kind of cool. Combat is centered not only around your units, but the behemoths that your team, your alliance, is ultimately summoning in battle. Unlike Rise of Kingdoms, where there are many pieces of equipment and customizations that you can do, in this game, what you instead collect is artifacts, and from what I can tell, each hero can be equipped with one of these artifacts. You draw them in a gacha-like system. These artifacts come in different levels of rarity, and they have special abilities that seem really crucial to activate at the right moment in time. So unlike in Rise of Kingdoms, where There aren't activated effects that come from the one piece of equipment that you add on. So unlike in Rise of Kingdoms, where the equipment you put on gives you a bunch of boosts, but they're all fairly static in nature. You don't have to do anything to activate them. In this game, you not only potentially get a little bit of a boost from the artifact itself, we'll go get a look at a few of these in just a second, but also activating them is really crucial, and they have fairly long cooldowns, multiple minutes of cooldown. So activating the right ability in the right situation at the right time seems absolutely crucial. From what I've seen so far, heroes can only wear one artifact at a time, and from what you see here, they give a bunch of stats on the artifact. You can star it up, level it up, and also there is this ability that you can activate. So this one says cast immediately, grants legions keen and haste, increasing their attack by 20%, march speed by 20%, while also inflicting a defense break, reducing their defense by 10%. I think that's for 10 seconds. This one has a 45-second cooldown. Okay, it's elite quality. But as we step through these, that some of these have really long cooldowns, and they seem like they are really powerful effects. This is Boots of Swiftness with the mobility characteristic or tree. It's got Legion March Speed and Legion Hit Points. So that's Army March Speed, Army Health. You can level it up, star it up, and it says cast immediately, grants haste to your Legion and up to 9 surrounding friendly legions. So this is kind of a cool ability. It's not only affecting your one army that has it equipped, but it's benefiting a lot that are nearby. Afterward, the Legion is fatigued and gains a slow, reducing their march speed. Very interesting. Here's an epic quality. It's magic and support. I wonder if those are constraints to who can actually use them. I think that would make a ton of sense, actually, because I think those correlate to the talent trees that are available on your heroes. Cast immediately removes all debuffs and impairment effects from the hero's legion and surrounding friendly legions. The spell can still be cast while legions are suffering control effects. 9-minute cooldown. Wow. These seem pretty cool. It feels like there's a lot of emphasis in this game on actually using special abilities at the right time. And as I think they advertised in the trailer I talked about in the previous video, card will be up in the top, you can go see that they really wanted to emphasize strategic combat in a way that's very different from Rise of Kingdoms. And not that Rise of Kingdoms combat isn't fun. It's actually very fun when you're, able to play really cleanly and have a smooth experience. I mean, having multiple armies smashing into something is fun. But in this instance, I think it's much more about the micromanagement of where does each army specifically go and what is each army specifically doing, rather than all armies target this thing and you run in and circle around it, right? There's a bunch of other artifacts, and I'll show these to you. We've got the Amulet of Glory. It looks like it's for cavalry and peacekeeping. It increases cavalry unit hit points, and it casts immediately, 1 minute, 30-second cooldown. Grants a buff once per 2 seconds to legions and up to 4 nearby allied legions, reducing the damage they take from darklings and dark creatures, that's PvE stuff, by 12% for 15 seconds. And there's more, but it's outside the screenshot. Here's a Freezing Ring. Magic unit defense goes up. It's for magic and tank. It's got a 4-minute cooldown, casts immediately. I think that's when you activate it. Grants ice defense to your legion, making it immune to all damage but unable to carry out actions. Effective for up to 20 seconds after the defense ends. There's some effect. So I won't go through all of these here, but I will flash through the ones that I have pictures of just so you can get a look at them. And we'll go over this, I think, much more in depth another time. There's a lot of other stuff I want to show you. As you might expect, there are 5 tiers of units in this game for each troop type. So the base of this elk unit is called a Work Elk. This looks like it's the tier 1. I'll point out a number of things that I think are interesting here. It has hit points, physical defense, engineering rating, physical attack, and magic defense. It's got load capacity, which we're used to, a march speed, which we're used to, a power ranking, which, I mean, that increases your overall power level, and then an attack range. Also, potentially some abilities on this thing. This may also just be defining characteristics. The T2, we kind of step things up a little bit with the Elk Riders. Also, it now points out at this tier that there's actually a counter system like you have in Rise of Kingdoms with archers and infantry and cavalry and how the units counter each other. It looks like what we have here is cavalry counters archers, archers counters, I think that's celestial, and then celestial counters tank. I think that's what that does. And then tank counters cavalry. So there's a 4-unit type system in this game. Did they do away with siege units? Is that what's happened? Because, I mean, like, I kind of like this system. I'm into it. We'll continue forward. I will point out one of these skills is actually locked. So I don't know if these are enhancements you unlock to the Elk Rider, but we'll figure all this stuff out. Also, I do want to point out that the attack range is now near. Before it was melee, so now it's near. So that may have to do with like the range not being immediately next to your target now. At the tier 4 Elk Rider, same sort of stuff here. I'm going to skip to the next one. Tier 5 Elk Riders, I mean, yeah, okay. They've upgraded a pretty fair amount here. Another unit type. Ironbark Treants. This bad boy's got a little bit of a Groot vibe, and I'm definitely into it. I mean, obviously, it doesn't look like Groot, but it's a tree, so I'm going to refer to Groot because I really like Marvel. Ironbark Treants level 2, Ironbark Treants level 3, Ironbark Treants level 4. I mean, dude's got a mushroom hat. Okay? And Ironbark Treants level 5. Now, above and beyond the pictures that they show you on the website where you can pre-register, there are a few screenshots that I have when you attempt to switch your faction, which looks like is something you can do. Your starting hero is ultimately not affected, so it looks like depending on which faction you choose, you will have a specific hero that goes with them. I also assume that at some point they will add more factions. In fact, I would be astonished if they didn't. So at the start, there's only 3 factions. You can view a little bit of information about them on the website. And here we've got a little more information about these Celestials. Their emissaries are female Celestials created by Leosa exclusively for the purpose of battle. They worship the god of light and are the flying units of the League of Order. After a sustained period of battle, Celestials' magic attack increases. So each of these factions has different units that seem to behave in different ways. And this particular faction has a magic defense boost and a gathering speed boost as well. Also, we got another faction here. This one, it looks like their unit is the Forest Eagle. Forest Eagles are the Spring Wardens, flying units, long-standing allies of the elves who patrol the skies from the Mistglade. In battle, they swoop in from great heights, greatly increasing their physical attack for a brief period. The bonuses for this faction include Legion March Speed plus 5% and Healing Speed of 5%. And you get this hero, Guanwin, who is a marksman, peacekeeping, and precision talent tree hero. Now, there's still so much to talk about here with talent trees and more. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more of those videos. The link's in the description if you want to pre-register, and there's no downside to pre-registering. You probably want to get all of the extra goodies that will come out if we hit those pre-registration targets, so why the heck not? I did want to establish that I have not been sponsored to put together this video. I'm actually just super freaking hyped about this game, and I'm very much looking forward to really playing it. And if you want to see when that happens, which I'm hoping will be very, very soon, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on when that stream happens. If you want to see another high-level overview of the game and a bunch of in-game footage, card will be up in the top or showing up right over here in just a minute for the first video I put together on Call of Dragons.